Should I stay or should I go? Being a guy in a relationship and not being sure what to do. Thank you for tuning in. This is Phil Jelovic. This is an interesting one, and it can be many different things going on. It can be that we've just met a great woman and it's brought up so much more fear, frustration, anxiety, confusion. It's actually magnified the stuff that we were afraid to confront in ourselves, even if we've done quite a bit of inner work. And it can mean that you're compatible in some ways, but ultimately you're not compatible. I'll give you an example. I say you need these 4 different things to have a relationship that has deep fulfillment for decades. You need a connection. Call that a heart, a soul connection, a knowing. I wouldn't call it love at first sight, but often it's connection at first sight. It's you meet a person and you just feel drawn to them in a way that doesn't happen very often. Connection is the rarest, a real connection. And the couples that I've seen do the best, stay together and be thriving. Connection comes in 2, maybe 3 forms. It's either not there, it's there, or like, oh, that person's cool. But a connection, for example, me personally, I can count 4, which is probably on the higher end, in 20 years. That were like, and some of those weren't women I dated, but women I was like, oh, we could date, or, then, oh, we needed different things, we wanted different things. So number 1, a connection, which is different than chemistry, something you feel in your heart and your soul. It can be, call it God, the universe intervenes and points to that person. Doesn't mean you're going to be with them forever, but I think if you don't have a deep connection, can often be instant. You might be getting confused with the next one, which is also important, chemistry. Do you have it in your body? That can be what some people call a trauma bond, meaning, oh my God, we just have to have sex, the sex is great. And do we confuse connection and chemistry? Chemistry, I would say, is more sex. You have fun together, you kiss well, you have sex well. Connection is different. You should want both. So you got connection, chemistry. The third one, which is very important, compatibility. As a guy, if you look at what do you really want? And does this person have that? Or are they open to that? Not just open, but if you really know you're supposed to have kids and you're a guy feeling like, well, maybe this woman will be open to have kids. Or if you're a woman watching this and it's reversed, if there's certain things, one of the big ones I see is a guy who's done a lot of, or a gal who's done a lot of personal development work. He's done a lot of inner work. And he's with someone who's done very little, or they're open to personal development. And then it's like, well, I met this person, and yeah, I bought him the 4 agreements, and we're going to a plant medicine ceremony in a month, and we're gonna go to a seminar in 6 months and go see this person, or go to a meditation retreat or a biohacking conference, whatever it is. A big one to watch out for is if you've been valuing your growth, your personal development, spiritual development, whatever you want to call it, your overall growth, and you're meeting someone that has not, that should be a huge sign that you're not compatible. Huge. I've seen, in watching relationships for now about 15 years, I've seen that I would say actually had substance of a decent relationship, and they were both aware of it, I've seen 1 couple, which I think is a lot. So are you compatible? Do you want the same things? Does someone want to live in Europe and you want to live in Idaho? Does someone love constant certainty and being home all the time and you want to travel? There's certain things where you might not be compatible. And the number 4, which men don't experience very often, is does this person want to actually build something? Do they want a commitment? So you got connection, chemistry, compatibility, commitment. If one of those is really missing, it won't work. You can have chemistry for a year, something can stress one of you out, chemistry can go away and come back. and you can bring polarity back. If chemistry's never been there, but you have a really strong connection, chemistry will probably never be there. The connection probably will. So there's these 4 things, or these 4 filters. There's another 4, and it kind of layers on top of these 4. Some of them do. When you meet someone, what does your heart, what does your spirit say? Again, that's like the similar one. And that is generally quick, or it takes a few dates. It can be a feeling of remembrance. So does your heart say yes? Number 2, does your body say yes? How do you feel around that person? Maybe you have great chemistry, but you feel like tense, like your body actually feels sexually safe, but then like it doesn't feel safe, or you feel like something's gonna happen. It can feel like anxiety. So you got, does our heart, does our body, how do we connect with them on a mental level? Are we able to share things? Can we talk about things? Sometimes, especially as guys, when our body really says yes and chemistry says yes, we might try to fill in the other things like, well, no, she's open to personal development, and yeah, she's been waiting for a guy just like me to, get her into this stuff. That could be a huge red flag. Huge red flag. Like, oh, she's been waiting for a guy like you to buy the 4 Agreements or whatever book. Little different. It's like, oh, she's done, let's say you're into plant medicine. She's done psilocybin and combo a few times, and she's wanted to go to ayahuasca, but she's been scared, and you know more about ayahuasca. Then it's going, oh, she's already been doing some of this stuff. Very different. So again, we have, does our heart say yes? Does our body say yes? Does our mind say yes? Which can be like compatibility. And then how do we feel? How do we feel emotionally? And mind and emotion can overlap. Is like, what's the kind of conversations and mental and emotional intimacy we can create? Which you can have great sex and physical intimacy and not be able to connect that much mentally and emotionally. I've seen people that have been in a relationship for years and they break up and they date someone else for 2 months and they have more emotional, mental connection, more intimacy with 2 months with this person than they had with this marriage for 5 years. So it's important to check in. And we were talking, I was hosting an event tonight. We had 3 of us speaking at our Dude Panel event. When you have different filters or different ways you can communicate with you first, it can, for you to look at you and go, what do you need? Like, love didn't exist on a relationship vision for the most part 150 years ago. In some cases, 80 years ago. So certain things are really new. If you were a woman writing a relationship vision, it was like, okay, he has a good family, he makes money, their family's good with ours, he won't beat me, we'll have kids. If you were a guy writing a relationship vision, it could be like, okay, I'm attracted to her, she comes from a good family, she'll have my kids. They were pretty basic and kind of transactional up until not that long ago. And now we're going, hey, what's your attachment style? What are your core values? What do you eat? Do you use seed oils or no seed oils? So we have all these things, which are great. What are the things you absolutely need? And if you're someone that's questioning, we went through these different sets of 4 filters, and some of them overlap. If some of those things are missing, I would say it's definitely not going to be sustainable. The paradox, if we look at the people we know, I remember doing this almost 15 years ago and talking to, great cousins or whatever they are, or people at, I was a weird guy at weddings and funerals of family stuff, and I would tell people this stuff, and I started to realize, I was like, oh, I can say it because they're since passed. Like, they've been together 42 years, and I just told them about this basic thing I learned from a seminar, and I'm a 20-something-year-old kid back then. And I was like, oh, they don't have that. I was like, really? It's like, they didn't go to the seminar. I was naive at 26, 27. But people, if we look at our parents or our grandparents or before generation, they would stay together for a lifetime, and they might not have even liked each other. They could have been in an arranged marriage. So the better you know yourself, and I'll leave you with this, you got those 4 sets of filters, the better you know yourself. And there can be 200 things of what you would like, but to go, these 10 things I need. And if you look through those filters, do we connect in these ways? Because if you connect with a woman in your heart and your body, and you don't connect with her mentally, you don't connect with her emotionally, you can be married for 42 years. It will never be deeply, deeply, deeply fulfilling. And it can be hard to leave. I've done it. I know how hard it can be to leave. But then you have to go, I need to totally connect emotionally and mentally with my friends, with my family, with my children, whatever it is. To if you go, I've been in this for a couple of years and it's just not there. Again, it's one thing if something was there for years and under stress, it left. Very different. If something's never been there, if you were at 2 out of 2 of these 4 and 2 out of 4 on these, so a total of, let's see, my math, 2 here and 2 here, so a total of 4 out of 8, like 50%. Again, this is the paradox. You can stay married for 50 years. I would challenge you'll never be deeply fulfilled. And it's interesting, I was just talking with a friend tonight. For women, one of the biggest fears of relationships or where things can go is, what if I'm alone? Guys, we generally don't think that way. We'll think of, what if I stayed and I made the wrong decision? And now I have kids, now I have responsibilities, now I have my integrity of the kids, what do I do? So, are you in the right relationship or not? I don't know. But now you have more information and a deeper part of you does know. Thanks for tuning in. Phil Jelinek. Have a great night.